Where are you at, Moss?
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
Straight cash, homie.
Get ready for Mr. Moss.
I hope he does. I really hope he tries to go up on you a couple
I do too.
I don't think he can get you.
It'll give me a chance to.
I don't think he can get you.
Randy Moss quickly introduces himself to the Falcons' first rounder. And then teaches the rookie an important NFL lesson.
Lots of time and unloads deep. That is Moss. That is a touchdown.
Watch here. Moss is going to raise his hand saying, I got him beat. Just toss it down. And he's running. And now watch Moss separate. He just separates at the last second.
I heard the stories when he throw his hand up. What are you going to do differently? See this?
Yeah.
I'd like you to play out with more cushion next time.
It's the opening game of the season for the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. How about this man, who may be the best in the league? Chris Myers, what do you have?
Well, Sam, every year it seems there's a new slogan about Randy Moss, the new and improved Randy Moss. He's more comfortable. He's more mature. Bill Moss mentioned it in the open. Gus Frerotte told me that now when he speaks up in meetings, it's not about him. It's about the entire offense. Coaches are saying he's interjecting valuable information. And the team says as Randy goes, so the Vikings go. Number 47, who's been on Randy Moss every play with some help, grew up in Atlantic City as a fight fan. He actually trained with Virgil Hill, said he worked on the boxing skills to help with the speed of his hands, and he'll push and shove and get physical with Randy in the first 5 yards so that Randy can't beat him downfield, although he will have some help. But in the past, Randy Moss has been the knockout guy with 8 touchdowns in 4 games against the Cowboys.
Culpepper under pressure, got away from Glover.
He's got Moss.
He throws and he's got Randy Moss, and he steps out of bounds right at the first down marker. His first catch of the game. He's caught a catch in every game he's played in the NFL.
Well, watch Randy. He's going to take it upfield, and then once he realizes where that Dante's scrambling, he heads right to the near sidelines and back to him to help out his quarterback. Normally you see on a scramble Moss head for the end zone, but he realized when he saw his quarterback in trouble and pursuit breathing down his neck, he came back to help out. At times it can look a little bit like street ball because, like you said, Sam, he's out there directing traffic. When they get in their nickel offense, when they get it, you know, if you're going to play cover 2 against Randy Moss and you're going to roll the safeties over the top of him, you've got to have the patience just to dink and dunk and take all the checkdowns underneath. And in the past, a younger coaching staff, a younger Randy Moss, that would frustrate them. And even a younger Dante Culpepper, they'd want the big strike fast. Remember, they always said we have to get Randy in the game plan early because, you know, or else we'd lose him. You know, he understands now what defenses are doing to him.
Minnesota game, Randy Moss only got 1 catch for 10 yards. What Dallas is doing, they're rolling their coverage, double covering Randy Moss, short and long. Well, what that tells Minnesota, hey, they got double coverage there. We're going to have one-on-one on the other side. Or if we want to run the ball, we know we're always going against a 7-man front. And it helps when Dante Culpepper scrambles against a 7-man front.
Randy Moss with a quiet first half. Cowboys did a good job taking him out of the picture.
Unless they come out of the cover 2, they being, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. That's what's taking Randy Moss out of the picture.
With 2 tight ends in. Culpepper again with plenty of time. And he goes deep again for Randy Moss. And a flag on the play. It's interference. There were 3 Cowboy defenders around Randy Moss.
And they needed all 3 of them to pass interfere with him. Otherwise, it was going to be 6 points for the Vikings. I believe Dixon is the one that is going to be called on.
31 on the defense. Automatic first down.
Roy Williams.
Here's Dixon's the one that's got his hand up on him. That's where it's Dixon's the one. But you know what? The umpires and referees and field judges and back judges, they're all back there. They see 3 white jerseys around Randy Moss. It could have been any one of them.
42-yard penalty. One thing that Culpepper does very well is a quarterback draw in that close to the goal line setup. Randy Moss upset with Terrence Newman.
Well, these two have been battling all day, and Randy Moss hasn't had the opportunity.
Oh, that's what he's upset about. Whoa, what's that all about?
Well, that's again when I go back to tell you that when the quarterback scrambles, once he takes off in a scramble mode, there is no pass interference. You know, you can block. They're just like blockers, offensive linemen. You can try to get rid of them, put them to the ground.
Culpepper rolling, throwing, and it's caught. Was he in the end zone?
I believe he was.
Yes, touchdown, Randy Moss.
The one thing you don't want to do, the one thing you don't want to do, young Terrence Newman, is wake a sleeping bear.
He gave him the goal line. Moss took it.
Moss took it with a lot of anger over the last play, too. Watch that. See that little hands there? See the little push off by Randy Moss? Right at the back. He goes right into Terrence Newman and uses an old veteran move and gets that separation to come back inside of the goal line.
41st career touchdown hookup between the pair of Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss. Culpepper has 3 touchdown passes. Moss just inside the goal line would not be denied by Terrence Newman. And the Vikings have an 11-point lead. Well, there's family connection there between Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss. They're playing together like family. There's good chemistry there. Could be. Here comes Moss again. He's got it and he's going to throw. Up in the air, wobbly ball to Marcus Robinson. Inside the 10-yard line. Randy shows his versatility.
Now I understand exactly what happened.
It wasn't a pretty pass, Bill.
Oh, that was a duck. I mean, there's a lot of Minnesota duck hunters up here that got excited when they saw that thing flying through the air. But now I understand what that other reverse was for. That was just a setup for what was coming downfield. That's why Burleson really didn't run the route down there and was just blocking. That's why the other receiver, Marcus Robinson, on the other side.
Fake. Randy Moss. Out of bounds. Flag on the play. It's incomplete. There's a flag down. Let's find out. Pete Hunter, the man covering on the play.
Well, that pump fake was to try to freeze him. And
pass interference. Defense, number 47. Automatic first down.
Second time, Dallas pass interference on Randy Moss. I don't know. I don't know about that call.
Well, his hands were in his chest when the ball was in the air. And you know, it was close. You can play it either way, but they're tightening down on the rules. It's the way the rule is written. You're not supposed to have contact with the receiver when the ball's in the air, and he clearly did.
Culpepper throwing. Randy Moss, touchdown. That's almost impossible to defend. And the leap into the crowd by Moss. His second touchdown catch of the game. He helped set this one up with a pass.
So much was written all week long about Randy Moss and his vendetta almost against the Dallas Cowboys for not drafting him, and he said he's beyond that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's number 10 career touchdowns versus the Dallas Cowboys for Randy Moss.
Back and forth these teams go. Each team has scored each time they've had the ball. Randy Moss has had a couple of touchdowns in the game. This was after a scramble, and Terrence Newman was all over him.
The very next play, he gets that little push-off, Sam. Like I said, he woke a sleeping bear.
Then there was interference by Pete Hunter. Set up a 1-yard touchdown pass. And don't forget, Randy Moss has thrown a 37-yard pass completion in the game. A little of everything. It's 3 wide receivers in. Culpepper finds Randy Moss for a first down at the 42-yard line. Randy Moss, this is his 5th game against the Dallas Cowboys. He has burned them for 10 touchdowns. He had a huge game on Thanksgiving a couple of years back. 3 catches, all for touchdowns. All were longer than 50 yards. They haven't found a way to stop him. And today, Though he's caught 4 passes for only 27 yards, he's caught 2 touchdown passes. 10 touchdown passes against the Cowboys in 5 games. Vikings a week from tomorrow at Philadelphia, then home against Chicago, then it's the bye. They hope to have Michael Bennett back after that.
2 of the NFL's most intriguing personalities collide here on the field tonight. Terrell Owens and Randy Moss are 2 of the top receivers in the NFL. They're also 2 of the best talkers, and they've been talking for over a week now about which one is the better player. I had a chance to sit down with each of them and ask them, who is the best wide receiver in the NFL?
I don't think that T.O. can really do the things that I do. And I think that I can do the things that he does. And my numbers, turn on the highlight films, you turn all that stuff on and compare me and him. 84 speaks for itself.
Moss has scored 10 touchdowns in 8 Monday night games. He's the only player to average more than 1 touchdown catch per game on Monday nights. And hold on to your cheesesteaks because Randy Moss is mic'd up tonight, Al.
Randy Moss, Marshall.
From the 34-yard line, Culpepper quickly outside to Moss, and his first pass to Moss is for a short gain, and he's run out there by Lito Shepherd.
You know, that's one of the things they want to do, Al, is get the ball to Randy Moss early in the game. And this time you see him out here, and it's just going to be a quick type of thing. He started over in the left side, came in motion to that position. The corner is off him. They know that they only need 2 or 3 yards for a first down, so they can hit him with that quick pop.
Moss last week was limited to 27 yards receiving, though he scored 2 touchdowns, and he threw a ball for 37 yards.
The coverage is rotating to this side here, and then you fake the ball to this side and bring it out to the back side. You see what they're doing to Randy Moss up there on top? They got him short, and then they have a guy over the top. They are not going to let him beat him deep.
He is a guy who will get the attention of the defense on every play in every game. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Culpepper buying time. Guns it over the middle. Caught at the 36-yard line by Randy Moss, and he picks up 5 more. So 3 consecutive first downs to start this drive. That good for 22 to Moss.
They have his slot on that side. They put Randy Moss in the slot. You know, we've seen him line up in the left side. We've seen him on the right side. Here he's going to be here. He's just going to come up and run an in right here behind the zone. You see, he'll come up, gets behind that zone right there, gets in that hole between the linebackers and the secondary, always works back a little to his quarterback. Now we know that they're always going to do something to Randy Moss, and they're going to have him short. They're going to have him deep. Sometimes they'll even buzz a linebacker out to his side. But here he is right here in the slot. You see they have him short, then they have 2 men deep. They're not going to let him get deep.
Randy Moss is mic'd up tonight.
I'm going to challenge this crowd tonight. Y'all better believe that. I want everybody watching tonight. This Monday Night Football, boy. Ha! 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 Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! We're coming to get a victory, and we're going back home. No, we don't. Box on 3. 1, 2, 3.
He has always been demonstrative, but more in a team leader kind of way now that he's in his 7th season. But John, I mean, through the years, you know, you can always count on Randy, and he said some crazy things and got into some trouble and was fined and all of that. But you can see where you develop in your 7th season when you're a guy like Randy Moss into a guy that the teammates respect.
And they do. I mean, because he is a leader on the field. I mean, if you're going to be the go-to guy, if you're going to be the star,
Offense, 10-yard penalty.
If you're going to be all these things, at some point you have to accept that responsibility. And I think that Randy Moss is starting to do that. You know, that it is a team game. It's not all about you. It's not all about how many balls you catch. You have to block. You have to be a decoy. In fact, Dante Culpepper was telling us last night that, and he means it as a compliment, he said Randy Moss is the best decoy in all of football.
Which is 32nd out of 32. On 3rd down and 7, that's caught Moss, and Moss will step out of bounds. It was a 2nd down play, and Moss picks up the first at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it was interesting. Randy Moss starts over here in the left side, and I think he started to run a slant pattern. Culpepper doesn't throw it to him. Watch, and then he's going to come up, and he just keeps going across. See, I think at first it was a slant, and then he saw that zone, and he just kept running, and caught it over on the other side of the field.
Again, Randy Moss who's mic'd up.
Yeah, hey, Lenahan. Hey, we get down in this 20-25 and in, they're bringing that safety. Brian Dawkins cannot jump with me. I promise, when you put it up and you see that yoke, you can't do nothing but get your roll on. You can't do nothing but get your roll on.
He calls his offensive coordinator by his last name. He loves to. He calls himself Moss.
Yeah, or 84. I think here he ought to be going to Randy Moss.
3rd down and 8. That's Moss at the bottom of the screen. And he goes to Moss on a slant, and that's an 11-yard gain for a 1st down. He's tackled by Lito Shepherd. Got inside him, picks up the 1st, moves the ball into Eagle territory.
Yeah, and that's the kind of coverage that Randy Moss is looking for, and that's when you have to go to him when you get single coverage. Here he is on Lito Shepherd, and he just runs the inside slant to get the 1st down, but you would think the way the Vikings play, if they see single coverage, and I know that was a 3rd down and they wanted to get the 1st down, but when they see single coverage, I think you have to go deep to Randy Moss. Yeah, I think what Dante Culpepper was talking about when he said Randy Moss is the greatest decoy in football, you see when he goes deep, he takes everyone deep with him, and then you could throw underneath. You see he's going out there to the right deep. Culpepper comes back. He knows that the coverage is running off with Randy Moss, so he just throws it underneath to that side.
2nd and a short 1. Flips to the outside. Moss makes the catch. So Randy Moss tonight has made 5 catches for 55 yards, and in the battle within the battle, you've got Moss 5 for 55. Owens, meanwhile, 1 catch, 15 yards. Randy Moss and the Vikings. The Vikings tonight with 180 total yards. Pretty good figure through 1 half, but only 2 field goals to show for it.
Yeah, they got down there one time, and then they had to settle for a field goal when they're down on the 1-yard line, and then obviously the last time they were down there, they had to fumble. You know, I think one thing, and I've always felt this when you have Randy Moss on your team, that somewhere every quarter you ought to throw 2 deep passes to him. Just throw them, you know, and not worry, okay, they're in this defense, they're rolling, I got to mix up, I got a progression. Just throw them. And they haven't done it yet. And I think someplace to be the Minnesota Vikings offense, you have to throw the ball deep to Randy Moss. I know they're rolling to him and all those things, but you still have to challenge him deep. That Dante Culpepper, when he was talking about Randy Moss being the greatest decoy in football, you've kind of used him as a decoy. Now you have to get him involved in the game, because I don't care if you don't get him involved and keep him involved, he becomes a different player too.
Quickly, Moss. And Randy gets taken down, but may have gotten enough of the 1st. It'll be close. It's Sheldon Brown who makes the stop.
You know, they had single coverage out there, and what Dante Culpepper did is he went to a double cadence, and he changed the audible. Now, to me, when you see single coverage, you don't have to throw a 2-yard pass to Randy Moss. I don't want to beat this to death, but you think that somewhere, if you're going to see a coverage you want, and you're going to make an audible, that audible would be to send Randy Moss deep.
Leg hit out of bounds.
Let him lead block, throwing behind. He becomes a blocker right there. You get the ball out to Nate Burleson, and he runs right in behind a Randy Moss block. So, again, the more things old 84 can do, the better, but you still want to get the ball deep to him.
Eagles show blitz. They come. Culpepper has to get it away, and Moss drops it. Javon Curse put the heat on.
We were talking to Jim Johnson the other day and say, you know, with Randy Moss, you got to double him. How do you double him in blitz? And he said, we aren't going to change what we do. He said, we mix in the blitz. We are going to rush the quarterback. We are going to knock him down. We are going to blitz. We are going to leave those corners out there man-to-man sometimes. He does it. Nothing comes of it for the Vikings.
Again, Randy Moss mic'd up.
Pick a side. Pick a side and go to it. You hear me? Come on. Lead us, Dante. Come on. Hey. Anytime you see me one-on-one with that safety, drop me.
From the 19-yard line. That's Moss. He gets free and then is taken down to the 11, and that's a first down as we tick down to 4 minutes. Sheldon Brown with the tackle. Again, short to Moss, who has now caught 7 passes, but for only 65 yards. Second down and 3 from the 4-yard line. To the end zone. Moss, and Randy Moss takes it away from Lito Shepherd for the touchdown as the crowd is stilled.
You know, and that's what Randy Moss was asking for all night. Anytime that he gets singled up, whether it's a corner or a safety, just throw the ball up there. Lito Shepherd is there. He's about 5'9", 5'10". Randy Moss is 6'4", and Randy Moss can get up in the air. Again, but to do that, you have to have time. There's a little time there. Culpepper just gets it off perfectly.
80 touchdown catches for Moss, who has not missed a game in his 7 seasons. This is his 7th. It's 98 games. There's the comparison right now with Owens, that big catch for the touchdown. Moss just got his touchdown. But at the moment, the Vikings are really in a bind because they can't use those timeouts. Philadelphia's already in field goal position, and this has to be about as frustrating as it gets. Randy Moss mic'd up one more time.
Gotta give us that rock back. They know they're supposed to be running. That's what I say. They know they're supposed to be. Andy Reid, you better run that ball, boy. You get them boys that ball back. We're gonna drive. Big Dave, loosen up.
You better stay loose.
Loosen up, Big Dave. They get us that rock back. Hey, hey, Bert. Big Mac, y'all stay loose. I know, Charles.
The thing is, I think he wants a rock back, but he doesn't want 3 more points tagged up there either.
Against a depleted Chicago Bears secondary, it's time to get Randy Moss deep down the field and light this crowd up the way he often does.
I'm going for the game ball today. I'm going for the game ball today, so however you want to do it.
Randy Moss and the Vikings offense awaiting their first chance. Culpepper out of the shotgun. Vikings have to get to the 36 for a first down. Catch is made by Randy Moss up at the 38-yard line. His first catch today, and it's good for a Vikings first down.
Well, in order for the Vikings to have time, they've got to be able to handle Ogunleye right here. They double team him. Tight end right there, along with Adam Heyer, they take care of him. They know where the pressure is going to come from. And for the Bears, Adewale Ogunleye, they're waiting for him to step up. You're going to see right here, wherever Randy Moss goes for most of the day, you're going to see number 21 lined up on him. And then usually they'll have another player behind him. Yeah, R.W. McCorder's trying to give it to Randy Moss.
The center, Matt Burke, has come out, replaced by Corey Withrow. Second down and 3 from the 22. Culpepper over the middle. Moss, penalty marker, as Randy takes it down to the 6-yard line. He made that catch with one hand.
Yeah, he sure did. And with the corner hanging right on him, I'm sure that's going to be the call, is the illegal contact on the defensive back covering him. And they'll decline it.
Before the pass, holding defense number 21 on an eligible receiver. Penalty is declined. The play results in a first.
Here's the matchup right here.
First and goal on the 7.
Really, McCorder's just had one arm kind of dragging on Randy Moss. A fake draw pass. So he faked the draw, and then he wanted to throw the ball, but they covered him. Covered the receiver.
Culpepper to the end zone, and Moss makes the catch for the touchdown.
Very Randy, baby. Yeah!
He makes it look easy, and it's just jump ball. I mean, there's just nobody in the league that can cover him like that, except for the guy that's not in the Bears uniform right now, Charles Tillman. Remember the end of last year's game? at Soldier Field where Charles Tillman ripped the ball out of Randy Moss's hands on the exact same play.
Did I hear Austin Powers? Is Austin Powers here at the Metrodome?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to be?
baby. Yeah!
Go watch and get a front seat to watch Randy Moss play.
44th time Culpepper and Moss have hooked up on a touchdown pass, and Moss, the new Vikings record holder, he's caught a touchdown in 8 consecutive games. The NFL record, Jerry Rice, 13 straight games.
It was the throw that made that play by Culpepper. Watch how perfectly thrown this ball is. R.W. McQuarters knows he can't jump with Randy Moss. McQuarters is coming this way to knock this ball out of his hands, but the ball is thrown away from McQuarters.
Early second quarter, Vikings by 1.
Everybody is congratulating Randy Moss, except maybe head coach Mike Tice.
Can't say that on there.
Yeah, you can't say that to me. Yeah, Randy Moss loves Mike Tice, man. They got a good working relationship.
2 minutes.
Yeah, Randy Moss flinched in the slot that time.
Penalty?
So another Vikings penalty. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Vikings lead 10-6.
You cannot be going forward at the snap. Watch Randy Moss right here. This is kind of drifting, going a little bit forward here at the snap. They are being extremely tight about that. Receivers are kind of getting a jump against the defense coming in motion. They're clamping down on that. Kind of an undisciplined play by Randy that time.
Now 1st and 15.
I believe that they have to throw the ball deep down the field to Randy Moss. These secondary guys that have never played before think that they're playing good and they've got Randy Moss tied up. You've got to put the fear of Randy Moss in young players' heads. I mean, here it is, R.W. McQuarters, who's not a young guy, who's played Randy Moss before. I mean, they have 2 guys, Mike Green back there and R.W. McQuarters. I still think you have to throw it.
First we check out what the Minnesota Vikings can do on 3rd and long, and Moss makes the catch in Bears territory at the 38-yard line. His 4th catch today and his longest reception of the season, 44 yards.
I tell you, Randy Moss, he finally got the ball down the field. I mean, his longest reception this year was 22 yards before that catch. Here he is in the slot working against Mike Green. See, they put the middle linebacker on him that time. There's no way Hunter Hillenmeyer can run with Randy Moss. Now, maybe Urlacher healthy can do that. But they finally got it behind the middle linebacker for the first time today. This play was all designed to get the ball to Randy Moss here. And he's just kind of walk off the line. Now he's going to make his burst. Now look at the Bears. They've got a guy below him and above him. That Todd Johnson was going to go anywhere Randy Moss went.
From the 29, Culpepper to Moss. First down, gain of 12. Well, Brian, I think the Voorhees Vikings are finally ready.
Vikings had a chance to get that ball back, and Culpepper Moss talking about what they're going to do in the next series.
Illegal motion. Offense number 84. A 5-yard penalty and still first down.
From the 31, Culpepper, Moss.
Watch out.
Into Bears territory. Out of bounds at the 37-yard line after a gain of 32.
And no flags. I mean, you almost have to say that after every big Viking play today. No, R.W. McQuarters is trying to chase him. You don't even see 21 in your screen. He's so far away from him.
Very Randy, baby. Yeah!
Ryan, the 39th career 100-yard day for Moss, 1 shy of Chris Carter's team record. Keenan Howry now in at wide receiver. That pass intended for Burleson, who took a hard hit from Todd Johnson. And there is a flag. Johnson and Green on the coverage. Some extracurricular activity.
This is looking a lot like the black and blue division. They better get a hold of this thing. Mike Green is going to get himself thrown out of this game. They can't afford that.
Dante Culpepper right in the middle of it, trying to play the role of peacemaker.
I mean, Todd Johnson is known for big hits. He's knocked himself out when he was at the University of Florida. No love lost between these teams. They still don't have this thing under control. I tell you, that late hit ruined a great play by Todd McMillan. Todd McMillan played that ball perfectly. And all that stuff in there, no flags to any of that, which is probably the right thing to do. Culpepper and Moss both having very good days today. Moss going over 100 yards receiving, got the touchdown.
3rd and goal. Moss comes in motion. Culpepper wide open for the touchdown. Randy Moss. 2 touchdowns, and he's given that same fan the football both times.
Yeah. It's a nice drive by the Vikings. You know, the Bears come up, make it a 1-possession game. They go right down the field, and those 2 guys take them down the field. A little help from Nate Burleson, but the offense delivered.
5th touchdown reception of the season for Moss. He led the NFL with 17 last year. We take one more look.
That's like a double pick there. You know, look at R.W. McQuarters trying to catch up to him man-to-man. Got 2 receivers over there. That's like a double pick in basketball, trying to get Kobe Bryant the ball.
And Randy played basketball in high school.
Yeah. Didn't play a little semi-pro basketball one off season too.
Yeah!
Yeah, finishing drives here in the 4th quarter. Randy knows that it's more than just a 1-person effort. Knows that the offensive line had a lot to do with it. No, and Randy said that, told me this off season, that when he used to get upset at Dante is when teams would double team him and take him out of the game and other guys wouldn't step up and make the plays. And he goes, look, if nobody else is going to make the play, then just throw me the ball even though I'm covered. But now you see the help that Ontario Smith is giving him, that Nate Burleson just gave him on that drive. Other guys are helping him out right now when he gets, you know, the double and the triple coverage that he so often sees.
Here was Randy Moss's pregame prediction earlier today.
Oh, and oh yeah, I'm going for the game ball today. I'm going for the game ball today, so however you want to do it.
Spoken with a lot of confidence. 2 touchdowns, over 130 yards in receptions.
Think you might get one?
Yeah, I think he's deserving of one today. Randy Moss.
I'm going for the game ball today.
Might get one of those today. He got a couple of touchdowns to help him earn a game ball.
Made it look easy on that one.
Yeah, he's just a difficult guy to defend. I know somebody in the end zone after getting a couple of touchdown balls from Randy Moss today. 5 touchdowns already, first 3 weeks of the season. At 17 last year.
2 touchdowns for Randy Moss. So long from Minneapolis.
Well, I think anytime you play the Minnesota Vikings, their main thing is Randy Moss. I think if you take Randy Moss out of the game early, you know, I think the rest of the team gets frustrated. Like last week when they played Philadelphia, Randy Moss, he did an okay job, I think. They had him like double covered, triple covered at times, and Dante Culpepper was just, I mean, he didn't have anyone else to throw it to. I think Philadelphia defense did a great job containing Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss, and they just took them 2 out the game, and the offense fell apart.
When you have so many injuries, though, in the secondary, you do not have the luxury of double and triple covering Randy Moss. What do you do differently to try to slow him down?
You got Todd Johnson, Nathan Vasher, Todd McMillan. Granted or not, it's their first, starts, and they're young. They got to get experience at it, when one of the starters goes down. And that play right there, I mean, I think RW was in great position. It was just he lost it with his height. Randy is, 6'4", RW's, 5'10", 5'11".
Kind of reminded me of last December, a certain play you made, stealing the ball away from Randy. You had to think to yourself, could I have made that play? Did it occur to you? I'm sure it did.
Oh, yeah. I thought, I was like, well, man, if I was in there, could I have gotten it? I don't know. It did come across in my mind like, dang.
Oh, yeah.
Could I have gotten that? Probably, I don't know, you know.
Culpepper looking for Moss, finds him, touchdown Vikings. Marcus Coleman went over there, but he couldn't stop him as Moss picks up his 6th touchdown of the year.
Marcus Coleman, they put him out there on Randy Moss because of his size. They put him out there to cover Moss on the fade route to the corner because Coleman's tall, Moss is tall, and so instead of running the fade to the corner, Moss breaks it back to the inside, and he is wide open.
Right now, the Vikings will begin at the 49 of Houston. Culpepper going up. Moss makes a move, and Moss down to the 20-yard line, and Minnesota needs a short 2 yards here. Off the play fake. He's got Moss open. 8th stride, touchdown Vikings.
What a call. And what a knockout punch. And Dante Culpepper's got his roll on. Who would have thought?
Superstar Randy Moss leads the NFL with 7 touchdown catches.
And we welcome you back to New Orleans with a question. Is Randy Moss the best receiver in football? Well, we talked to a lot of players and coaches, and if you listen to them, the answer is yes. But we all know about his ability. What struck me talking to Randy yesterday was how much he talked about his love for the game. In his 7th season, the joy he's finding in the preparation, just hanging with the guys, the leadership. And then when he gets on the field, he's a freak of nature. Even in double coverage, those long arms, that great size, those great hops. I mean, he's impossible to defend. Plus, the incredible speed, so rare for a receiver his height. And he has a quarterback who has grown with him every step of the way.
I don't know how much stronger and closer we can get. I really don't know. But I think that, you know, he can see, you know, a maturity level, urge or will to get it done, and I can also see it in him. So I think that, you know, when it comes time for us to look upon each other, you know, for guidance and leadership on the field, I think we see it.
They start from the 12. Culpepper with a fake. Unloads from Moss. Got it.
You know what? This is all because of blocking in the front. When you see the routes that Randy Moss runs, it just takes about a day and a half to run it. Watch this. Down. They force him in the middle. He waits. He waits. Now he breaks to the outside. He's got tremendous speed, folks. And that was just too easy.
That's not what the Saints want to see out of the box. How about the separation he got from Bucky Jones? Goodbye. 45 yards.
Randy Moss said, hey, I'm going to be double covered for probably the rest of my life. And here it goes. He goes, he's inside, he's covered. Now he's goes to the back to the outside. But if Dante Culpepper had time, Moss was open in the end zone.
You could actually say there were 4 guys bracketing that time. So now instead of just double covering them, they've made them so good they've decided to make 4 guys cover them. Williams is into the backfield. He's number 20. Stays in the block. And now Culpepper airs it out. Moss, did he stay? And he did. Holy cow, are you kidding?
Let me tell you what, when you just see this play, now I've not seen all of Moss's catches. This may be the greatest he's ever done. Not only does he outrun the defense, and he knows exactly where he is. He only had about a yard to work with in his feet. Folks, watch his feet. This is double coverage. Watch his feet. He catches the ball. Look where the end zone is. Look at his feet. Bang. I mean, how quick is that? Here it comes down. 1, 2. How about another one? Let's get that one in also. 3 of them. I mean, that's unbelievable.
He went by those guys like they were screwed into the ground. That was double coverage. Dante Culpepper doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's going to throw it wherever he has to. Wouldn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Instead of a touchdown for New Orleans, a minute 3 later, it's Vikings in the end zone.
Well,
Well, no surprise, Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, one of the top tandems in football. And Manning and Harrison have a couple years on them, but Randy tells us he is just loving it. They bring out the best in each other, and he says, sure, it gets emotional. You know, we're used to seeing them go at it a bit on the sideline, but that's the whole thing. They communicate on the spot. It's eye to eye. They share the love, and when they can work magic like that, man, is it fun to watch.
Susie, what was so impressive about that, he was still 4 steps from getting behind the defender, and he raised his hand and said to his quarterback, I'm open, I'm gone. And he was. Randy Moss, only the 5th man in history with a touchdown reception in 10 straight games, and that one was worthy of going at the top of the highlight reel.
I don't think that's the end of it, though.
No.
You know what,
and Jerry Rice has the record. He has 13 in a row.
The thing about him is that when we talked to him, and I asked him the other day about his speed, he has no idea how fast he is. Because no one's ever really timed him. He was timed in a 40 at what, 4.25.
Yeah,
but
which is ridiculous.
Doesn't make it makes no difference, because once the ball's in the air, that's how fast he is. And cuts another one loose. Randy Moss does a spectacular job of catching the ball, keeping his feet in, and getting the touchdown.
Culpepper, excellent protection again. Launches one, and Moss went down, and it's intercepted in the end zone.
Let me tell you, that's an excellent job by the official. As a defender, you're allowed to have the opportunity to protect your space.
And Moss is hurt. Fakir Brown makes the interception.
That's a
Moss
hamstring.
fell in the middle of this play, and Mike Tice is going to be one of the first out there tending to it.
Wouldn't you be the first out there if that was my player? He looks like he's holding that ham on the right side. Watch this. Dante cuts it loose. Bellamy just takes position, and Randy just runs right through him. Tackles him. Let me tell you something. If there should be anything at all on this play, it would be offensive pass interference, because Randy Moss tackles Bellamy.
Well,
I'm saying if they were going to call anything.
He stumbled and fell into him, but you're right. It should be interference.
Well, you wrap your arms around the guy, tackle. And look at the job Fakir Brown does, number 35, staying with the pass, keeping an eye on it, and making the interception.
Moss has played in 101 games, never missed one. And it doesn't look like, if it's a hamstring, it doesn't look like it's a real bad one right now.
Now, just if we spin forward just a little bit, let's say Randy has to sit for a series or two or the rest of the half. Because Dante Culpepper has become so comfortable distributing the football to other people, you lose a Randy Moss, you lose the big play, the greatness, but Culpepper still is in a comfort zone moving the ball around for Mike Tyson's ball club. But you know what it really does for the defense of the New Orleans Saints? Now, the only team now that can put 8 in the box and stop the run. Here's the other, be not 9 yards of rush now. But here's the other problem. You set your defenses up to stop Randy Moss. Now all of a sudden you got to go to plan B. He may not be there. There's another plan. See?
Well, they immediately go for the right knee. We'll try to get an injury report as soon as we can. Randy Moss being wrapped up. Will he come back? We'll find out.
Mike, here's the update on Randy Moss. It is a right hamstring strain, listed as probable. He was bouncing around on the sidelines. You know he'll be back in there. This guy is tough. This guy is a gamer, and he is a leader on this team. You know, he's reluctant to talk about his maturity, but he sure has matured. He will speak to the maturity of this entire team. Their success is about so much more than he and Dante, but these two guys do set the tone.
In the first half, Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss were spectacular as usual, but Randy Moss ends up with a pulled hamstring. What do you do? If you're Minnesota, you just lost Randy Moss.
Yeah, I know, and the thing when he came back at the end, I think he was a decoy, and that's all he really was, because he hardly got off the line of scrimmage.
Mike talked to both coaches at halftime. Jim Haslett says, he said, this is crazy. This is like high school football. We put 2 guys on Randy Moss, and he still comes down with the football. He said it's crazy.
ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Tennessee at Minnesota. Randy Moss, heavy trouble. Would he start? Well, he played 2 plays. He started, then that's it.
So if you could only play one play, maybe you should have sat.
Maybe. but Randy Moss hurt last week, only played 2 plays. Moss coming in the game, Culpepper throwing it to him, couldn't get the feet in, out of bounds, and he was just unable to get going.
Yeah, Randy Moss fairly ineffective. He didn't have a catch on the day, and we're going to take a look at why. Randy Moss wanted to played a half of football, but watch as he tries to make his cuts, as he tries to come out of his breaks, just doesn't have any push-off off of that hamstring, injured a couple of weeks ago. I think in the end it's going to end up being a 3 to 4 week injury for him, and the only way to get it better is to rest it, and that's what you see him doing right there as they get into the third quarter.
Well, Moss trying to spur on Culpepper, but they're down 20-0.
I spoke to him before the game. He says he is feeling fine, so they hope to have him back in a couple of weeks versus Jacksonville. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. Yeah, probably not next week, but they hope the week after for Moss.
So we're going to Lambeau, and I want to play. I want to play, but I can't play because my hamstring. So the first matchup was in Lambeau, so I'm hobbled. So as I'm standing on the sideline, the Wisconsin University bands come down with their horn department. If anybody follows the Green Bay Packers don't have a band. They had the University of Wisconsin band come.
And it's been fun to watch him here.
We got something written on there about Randy Moss.
Come on, man. They got spelled in their horns. Where are you at, Moss?
Where are you at?
What? So we get our butts beat. We get our butts toe up. They beat us.
There's obviously a lack of English majors in that trombone or tuba section.
That's fun. The band wanted a piece of Randy Moss, but I guarantee the Packers did.
It's one of those things, man, you really can't explain it. Your offense is totally different. It makes a ton of difference when he's not in.
When Randy's on the field, we're really playing offense against 8.5 guys, because 2.5 are on Randy at all times.
Oftentimes when Randy's on my side, I'm in the slot, you know, some DBs look a little shook up. But when he's out, I think they kind of get a little excited, you know, thinking maybe they got the advantage because their big playmaker's not in.
Randy Moss back for 6-4, Minnesota in the Dome. So Dante Culpepper says, I got Moss, I'll find Moss. First down leads to a field goal. Morton Anderson, 3-0 Vikes. Then later in the drive, 3rd and goal, Culpepper. Wow, how about this to Randy Moss? Tom, touchdown, 20-13 Minnesota.
Yeah, watch the catch, but watch the concentration with the feet. Grabs the ball, takes it from over the defender.
Hey, want to go to Jacksonville. It starts today, and it starts with the offense. Let's go out here. Let's execute. Let's go. Offense on 3, 1, 2, 3. Offense.
With the Vikings back on offense, Tice asked his 2 biggest weapons to get the momentum back.
Dante, straight drop, passes, caught Moss at the 40, 45. Let's see you sprint, 84, 40, 35, 30. And Randy Moss is out of bounds at the 20. And he looked like he had no hitch in his giddy up on that play. Gotta be kidding me! 3rd and goal from the 3. Culpepper under center, short drop, pumps once to the left. Now he looks for Moss, who's wide open, caught touchdown. Touchdown, Randy Moss!
Hey, good job. Great route, baby. Great. You killed that one.
He runs a post pattern, stops, and comes back the other way. And then when you do that with that quickness, you cannot stop that.
That is the 10th touchdown this year for Randy Moss, 87th of his career.
Minnesota took over deep in Seahawks territory. One of the Vikings' favorite plays in the red zone is the jump ball to Randy Moss.
Culpepper calls an audible.
They're going to Moss. I mean, he's got single coverage down here.
Back to pass. Joe's right.
Oh, this sits. This sits.
Fade right. Moss. It's up for grabs. Incomplete. Single coverage by Marcus Trufant on Randy Moss. Oh, you're dead right about that. You're looking at a 6'4 receiver and a 5'11 cornerback. Dante probably could have thrown that bad boy a little higher, huh?
You know they're going to throw those jump balls to him so many times a game. Great play by Marcus Trufant.
31-yard field goal, snap, spot. The Vikings are approaching Seattle's red zone in desperate need of a touchdown.
And you're going to do it by not putting yourself in a position to turn the ball over.
But the Vikings put themselves exactly in that position when they opted for razzle-dazzle over reliability.
Randy Moss comes around. He's got the end around there. He goes to the right side. Got a little bit of room. Now he's going to throw. Throws it. It is intercepted in the end zone. Guy, you know who. Number 28, Michael Boulware, who comes up with a huge play. As the Vikings get greedy, try to throw an end-around pass from Randy Moss, throws it into the teeth of the defense, and Boulware comes up with the pick.
He comes out of nowhere.
From there, Culpepper connected with Randy Moss for the first time in the second half. Moss, who finished the game with 4 catches for 104 yards, put Minnesota in range for one final desperation play.
Is there anything that Randy Moss can't do?
They fly the other corner. As they hit Culpepper, he got rid of it to Moss, and Moss for a first down. He is close to 100% after going through all the problems with the hamstring. But Moss looked good last week and made a first down on that play.
Well, I want you to take a good look here at Randy Moss. Randy Moss, right there he is there. Now watch him look back at the defender. See him glance back to see where the defender was as he caught the ball, Sam? That's when he knew to spin back inside how the defender was playing him.
Vikes have to get to the 42 for a first down. Culpepper's got time, waits, and lets it fly. Way down for Randy Moss. He's got it. Moss trying to outrun him. He does. Touchdown, Minnesota. The tandem of Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss hooks up for an 82-yard touchdown. The 51st time they have connected for a touchdown. Wow. Well, Randy Moss is back healthy. He certainly looked 100% on that one.
Well, first of all, remember the last sack? Watch who stays in. They keep everybody in to block. So it's max protection. A lot of time in the pocket. This play takes a long time to develop. Randy Moss, they rolled coverage to his side. Dre Bly is on the corner. They bring Bracy Walker, the safety, over the top. Randy Moss got behind Bracy Walker, and that play and that maximum protection gave Dante Culpepper time to find it.
33rd touchdown pass of the season for Dante Culpepper. Morton Anderson's extra point is good. Anderson has a 331-game consecutive point-scoring streak. Randy Moss got behind the secondary. Culpepper laid it in there.
That's a sin. Never let Moss get behind you. 3rd and 24. Yep. I mean, you do not let Randy Moss get behind you at any extent. I mean, you know that going in. And I've done numerous Detroit games against Minnesota, and that always seems to be the case. Sometime or another during the game, they're going to allow Randy Moss to get behind him. I mean, this is 3rd and 24. You do not let Randy Moss get behind you. Watch him read off the safety. Fake like he's going to the corner, make the safety commit to that side, then come back underneath him. And if there's one thing that Dick Duran preaches in any defense he coaches anywhere, is keep the receivers in front of you always. Make them throw the check down.
Now this combination we talked about of Culpepper and Moss, they started to go in 2000 against the Lions. This game, they hooked up on 7 passes, but 3 long touchdowns. And that was the beginning of the Culpepper-Moss combination. Going against the Lions, and they hooked up for an 82-yarder in this one. The Vikings getting ready. Hansen pops it up in the air. Randy Moss is there to leap and catch it, and that will put this one away. The Minnesota Vikings will win for the 6th straight time over Detroit.
So far in this ball game, we are seeing the Randy Moss effect. We've only seen one time a single safety down the field, basically 2 safeties the entire game. After a week ago, they played man coverage all day. Not so against Randy Moss.
Culpepper was thinking about running. Flips it for the touchdown to Moss. Yeah, and I agree with you, Joe. It looked like Dante Culpepper was looking to run with the football, maybe trying to find a hole, but you know, again, that's what an athletic quarterback is able to do. When he gets out on the edges, he puts a real pressure on those defensive backs to maintain their blocks or maintain coverage, and you're just not going to do that against the Randy Moss.
And it looked like Al Harris fell down on the play trying to cover Randy Moss, but that was Al Harris's biggest fear, the scramble situation. That's when Dante Culpepper is at his greatest threat.
A Christmas present for that young man as Culpepper has his 20th straight game with a touchdown pass. Mike Tice, Randy Moss celebrate the first points of the day.
Really, Randy Moss, for the most part, has just been a decoy so far today. And you just wonder if maybe Randy Moss is hurting a little bit. It's not his hamstring anymore. It has been when he has been hurting on the field, his upper back. Mike Tice worked out with him a little bit this week and said there can't be anything wrong with the workout he put me through, but he really has not been much of a factor here today, and this is exactly the kind of situation you would expect to see Randy Moss.
He's been looking into the eyes of Al Harris all afternoon. 3rd down and 5. Now it's Moss out of the slot. Culpepper fires. Moss is left alone. Unbelievable. And Randy Moss is just shy of the 39. You know, you take a look at this and watch Randy Moss as he comes off the ball. He's just slow playing it, and he kind of lulls them to sleep a little bit, and then all of a sudden he comes in and he gets in behind in the corner, and Dante Culpepper was looking for him the entire way. It is beyond belief that a guy like Randy Moss can jog down the field and have nobody on him.
Well, he may not be catching a lot of balls today, but Randy Moss is getting a lot of opportunities to throw blocks. The Green Bay Packers are rolling their corners up on the outside, and so a lot of these runs are now hitting off the edge, and Moss that time able to turn Al Harris and pick up a big gain.
You know, it's funny that he has been such a big factor in the running game with his blocks, and I remember just a few years ago, that was one of the criticisms of him, and it just shows his maturation and how he's grown as a professional. He's becoming a more complete wide receiver.
You know, Randy Moss, to me, is either really hurting or just not playing very hard at a big juncture of the game. He runs a slant, and then as soon as it comes out, he's just kind of cruising around, and Dante had the ball in his hand the whole time. You know, that's sort of, you know, when you need to do something drastic as a wide receiver to go help the quarterback.
Yeah, and you'd think maybe hamstring, but what was it Mike Tice told us? When he starts standing up, typically it's that back. The back could be what's giving him some problems right now.
Now, I understand that Randy Moss is one of the great receivers in the game, but if he can't run harder than what he's been doing on this series, you have to take him out of the game. This is man coverage, and Al Harris has him all over the field. It's not like you're trying to find a hole in the zone or whatever. I just have to believe Randy Moss is really hurting right now because he has not been playing like that.
Culpepper, plenty of time down the middle of the field. Incomplete. Randy Moss was bracketed, and it was the middle linebacker Nick Barnett all the way down the field in front of Moss. Yeah, you remember 4th and 26 last year? It was Nick Barnett that didn't get down the middle of the field. He's not going to let it happen this time. He takes off running to get underneath Randy Moss, and that's the way you draw it up. That's that Tampa Bay cover 2.
Time for Culpepper again. Now being pressured. Gets rid of it. Way downfield for Randy Moss. And it's batted away by Sean Taylor.
Whoa.
And Taylor gets up. Not in my house, he won't.
First of all, what a sensational job of Dante Culpepper buying time to get that thing off. He made that play give it a chance. He's the one that gave that play a chance. These two exceptional athletes going at it. Moss out-jumps him, but look at the finish by Taylor.
Usually when it's a jump ball, Moss wins.
The finish. Watch the finish by Taylor. He's still looking at it. He's still eyeballing it and not giving it a chance.
He could play linebacker. He could play cornerback. Sean Taylor is one talented player.
Sean Taylor. And the reason why is because he came in early, a lot of hype, very good. And all he kept telling me is, every time you catch the ball, I'm going to try to kill you.
On second down, Culpepper, the slant for Randy Moss. He spins, he's down at the 45. And a timeout called by the Vikings.
Oh, there's a test. There's a test right there. And there's the youngster learned about letting Randy Moss get the inside slant on him.
Well, you know, I talked to Sean Taylor before the game. He doesn't talk a lot, mild-mannered or soft-spoken, but he said he really has enjoyed this season in the NFL. The record of the Redskins he's not happy about, but he said he was looking forward to the challenge of facing Randy Moss. He said, hey, he's supposed to be the best or one of the best in the game. I hope I get the chance to meet him my style and show him the kind of player I am. Looks like he did that earlier.
He certainly did, Chris.
No.
Oh, you want him to hit him?
Yeah, that's his style. That's what he meant. His style is rocking your world.
On 3rd and 15, they have to get to the 48-yard line for a first down. 3 wide receivers.
Here comes.
Blitz coming from Taylor. He's picked up. Culpepper rolls and looks and throws. And a catch is made by Randy Moss. A first down at the 49. A big play for the Vikings.
A huge play. And they go to Old Faithful. They go to what the Minnesota Vikings are known for. They went to what the Minnesota Vikings scare you with. And the reason it was all able to happen was because Dante Culpepper, once again, extended that play.
There's one play where we're in Washington, maybe 30, 35-yard line. So Culpepper drops back, throws the ball in the end zone. Sean has great position. But somehow
Culpepper going deep into the corner for Burleson, for Moss.
I needed that ball more than he did because he said every time you catch that ball, I'm gonna kill you. So I caught the ball. So he looked up. He said, "Did you catch that?"
He caught it.
I looked at him and said, "You damn right I did."
What a catch by Randy Moss!
Finally, it opened up for him. And let me tell you, Sam, it wasn't open too big, because they rolled coverage to Randy Moss. The safety over the top of the corner. You mentioned 2 corners being out, with Springs out and Smoot being out.
Wow. What a play by Moss. What an adjustment and a great catch. A phenomenal catch by Randy Moss. He's caught touchdown catches. He's had touchdowns in each of the last 4 games and in 10 of the 11 games in which he's played this season. That time, Sean Taylor was there, Bill, but he just took the ball away from him.
Well, these two are going to have a fierce battle the rest of the way. This thing isn't nearly over. Randy Moss got even, but you saw the look on Sean Taylor's face. He's mad about it.
And this is what Bill was talking about. First half, Bill?
Well, that was the first half, and they went up for a deep ball, Randy Moss. Now, this is Randy Moss getting revenge on Taylor and Walt Harris in double coverage. Moss worked both of them.
Culpepper steps up. Boy, he makes it happen. Deep for Moss, just overthrown. 3 Redskins downfield.
The flag. There's a flag downfield. Was he carried too far on the jam?
They called it on Harris. Let's see.
There's the hands, but what happens is right there, Sean Taylor comes up and makes contact with him after Walt Harris did. Walt Harris was actually fine. The penalty is actually on Taylor.
Right. Taylor wanted a piece of Moss, but that one costs the Redskins because it's a first down.
What do you do to his face?
21. Randy Moss motions. The play fake. Flag on the play. It's going to be on Goldberg. The throw by Culpepper way downfield for Moss. He goes up and grabs it. Moss goes in, but I think the play is going to be negated. It's going to be, I believe, on Adam Goldberg for holding.
Watch this route by Randy Moss. He's working the inside. He ends up on Antonio Pierce. They're playing quarters to that side. So the first quarter is Antonio Pierce. And it's a mismatch. He's down there in position with him when the ball's in the air. Moss is going to make the play, and it all got called back and nullified because of a holding call.
And you can read it in the eyes of the Vikings. Next week, playoff time, and
The NFL on Fox brings you an NFC wildcard game beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern time with the #1 pregame show there is. Randy Moss, I think he figures the day is done. He's heading off. Morton Anderson will be the man lining up for the onside.
So, season's over. One of the guys from the media department, he said, man, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. He said, man, do you know who we drew first round of the playoffs? Now, I'm still furious from the first game because they're talking about where you at, Moss, where you at, Moss. Green Bay Packers. I said, dude, you got to be kidding.
It doesn't get any better than this.
So, all the little bit of animosity that was up to that point that they done owed to us. So I still haven't forgot where you at, Moss. So as we go into Lambeau, there's probably about 10 white asses sitting over there over the hill. They got all their pants down. It's nothing but white moon, just all lined up. So we're on the bus. We're talking about, oh my God, we're sitting there laughing.
Playoff football, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 2nd down and 9. Culpepper slings it. Randy Moss, Al Harris. Culpepper off his back foot, flips it up for Moss. Randy Moss makes the adjustment for the touchdown.
And Chris, I think Randy Moss might have gotten away with a shove.
He sees he has Al Harris one-on-one. He sticks his hand in the air and he says, Dante, don't even bother looking anywhere else. Throw me the football.
Still 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And it's 17-0, Vikings on top.
So, if you remember my touchdown, I scored the touchdown that really put the game away.
Culpepper, Moss. Randy Moss is in for a touchdown.
So one of the wide receivers came over to try to give me some love. Y'all pushed him off.
Oh, Al Harris playing off.
And I don't do that. I give my brother some love. I pushed him off. I said, no, I need this moment. I need this moment. Back up. I need this moment.
Bit up on the route, and Randy Moss, without even really being able to run, as he shoots the moon to the fans here in Green Bay.
That whole week in practice, I ain't say nothing. Y'all just watch me play. Man, I scored that game with a touchdown. I said, for that good stuff that y'all did for y'all taking this.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss. And it's unfortunate that we had that on our air live.
My mindset was like, dude, I'm not going to pull my pants down. I'm just going, fake moon them.
I don't give a what they talk about. They better talk about this W that we put on Lambeau Field today. They can talk about the end zone celebration all they want to, but I know what better be behind is that W.
That is disgusting by Randy Moss.
Well, let's get back to the play. Randy Moss, I don't even think that was called in the huddle. You see him start to the slant. Al Harris jumps it. He gives him the hand. Dante Culpepper.
Man, when I get back to the Winter Park, I get out to my truck. They tell me, Randy. I said, what? Well, you know they're going to find you, boy. I said, man, come on now.
Write the check yet, Randy?
When you eat rich, you don't write checks.
How do you pay, man?
Straight cash, homie.
I was thinking it was all in fun, with the game. Boy, they'd have hit me for that $30,000, $40,000. So,
did you ever get fined by the team?
Not by the team. No, they thought it was hilarious. Because you know how you ride into a stadium. When our buses came in, they would egg us or moon us. Man, that day we came through the boy, it was 10 butts right there lined up, and all of them was white. Naked too, Vinny. Boy, I said, I got to get something for y'all. I scored that game-winning touchdown, boy. Hey, I'm going to tell you what, it felt good. It felt good.
Culpepper with all day down the middle, can't get it to Moss. Moss came free, and Culpepper could not get it to him in the air, and it's time for another Vikings punt.
And really, Randy Moss was wide open on this play. Looks like he's running okay. A big gap in the middle of this zone defense, and for the second time to start this ball game, we've seen Dante Culpepper one hop one in there.
3rd down and 8. Moss has been shut out so far. As Randy Moss gets his first catch of the day, and he is dragged down from behind by Jeremiah Trotter 3 times, and those two get into it. So Moss and Trotter rough it up after the play. The only point I was making is 3 times the Minnesota Vikings, because of a defensive penalty, given the Philadelphia Eagles a first down, and 2 times it's led to touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because they know that in order to work the underneath routes, the linebackers have to be a factor, and so far they have been. But
we saw Randy Moss and Jeremiah Trotter get into it, and obviously Randy Moss, with what happened last weekend at Lambeau Field and pantomiming the mooning of the fans down there, received a $10,000 fine from the NFL. Then his reaction during the week. We talked to Mike Tice. He said, I believe I know Randy Moss well enough to believe that he thinks enough's enough, and that will not continue on.
You are not going to believe what happened on this play. Randy Moss was supposed to stop on the sideline, and Gus Frerotte was going to come up and hit him with the pass, and Randy Moss jogging up the field instead of stopping at the line of scrimmage and going back and making the play. You see him saying, get out there, but nobody told Gus Frerotte, and so when he raised up, Moss wasn't there. He looks right for Randy Moss on the left sideline. He's not there, and Frerotte has no idea of what's going on.
Well, that's clearly on the sideline there, because it's obvious that Randy Moss was not certain what the play was. Initially, he thought they were going to run the fake. Then, for whatever reason, he looked to the sidelines. Then they made it look like they were not going to go for the fake. That's on the sideline right there, not communicating properly to those guys in the huddle.
And you can see Tice trying to call timeout.
Randy Moss knows that they blew an easy touchdown. He would have had an easy walk-in play. I think the New England Patriots were the ones that ran it earlier this season against St. Louis. And that was just going to be a gift touchdown.
All right, Pam, I talked to Mike Tice on the botched fake field goal. He said an offensive lineman was out on the field. It wasn't supposed to be. So when they waved Randy Moss off, he came off because they would have had 12 men on the field.
And you can go right down the list. It's 11 guys on the football field right there. So even if Randy Moss had stopped on the sideline, they would have still gotten a penalty on the play. It's just hard to believe in something that is that significant a play that I'm sure has been practiced time after time, that you could foul it up that badly.
Yeah, you just can't have it. I mean, there's got to be better communication on the sidelines as far as what's going to happen.
3rd down and 15. Culpepper throws, and the pass caught by Moss. Out to the 39, and I was just getting ready to talk about Moss, who Tony Dungy calls the biggest difference maker in the game today, and that is only the 2nd catch all afternoon for Randy Moss.
And it's not from a lack of them not wanting to get the ball to him. I mean, they're looking to try to get the ball into his hands, and you know, this is an offense that is really predicated on making big plays, and Randy Moss certainly provides that. But when you're not getting the big plays, and then when you're not converting on 3rd downs, you're going to have a hard time putting points on the board.
A quarter dominated by the Vikings with regard to yardage, but no scoring. The pass from Moss off his hands. Trotter was out there along with Lito Shepherd.
There's only about 5 or 6 plays per game where Randy Moss gets single man coverage on the outside, and when you get it, you have to take advantage of it right in his hands, and he dropped it.
Right now, another critical 3rd down. The Vikings, who struggled on 3rd down in the first half, have done a much better job here in the second half.
On 4th and 22. Culpepper, Moss, incomplete, and the Eagles take over. There was nowhere to go as Randy Moss was covered brilliantly by Hood and Michael Lewis.
Yeah, they had 2 guys back there on Moss defending him, and I thought inside on Burleson, number 81, that maybe that would have been the best opportunity for Dante. If he works back there, he's one-on-one on a linebacker, but Dante had determined, I'm going to go up to the best receiver I've got, try to throw it up high and give him a shot. We talked earlier about the missed opportunities by the Philadelphia Eagles that they've had in order to put the Vikings away. How about the Vikings? I mean, they go down there, they failed to execute the fake field goal where they could have come away with some points.
3rd down and 3. And the pass behind Moss, who couldn't make the catch. And Moss was not a factor in today's game.
And neither have many other receivers been. You go down the list, and Randy Moss is getting it pretty good right now. of the great receivers that this Eagles team has faced this season, Randy Moss, Muhsin Muhammad, Hines Ward, Javon Walker, Donald Driver, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Chad Johnson, none of them have had 100 yards against this defense.
Culpepper on 3rd down has a day and a half and fires. Moss incomplete. Sheldon Brown.
You know, Randy Moss is just kind of cruising across the field, running right down the middle and just trying to find an opening. You can see him clearly limping, really struggling on the ankle. And I don't know if it's throwing off his timing or not, but I've never seen him drop as many passes as he has today. Now, clearly he takes a shot, but that's a ball that typically Randy Moss makes.
Out of the shotgun, blitz coming from the Eagles, and the pass to Moss, good for a 1st down. Moss is down to the 32-yard line. Vito Shepard made the stop for Philadelphia, gain of 15.
The Philadelphia Eagles are trying to play a little bit of a prevent defense, show some blitz, and then run back out underneath it. But when doing that, oftentimes they're not able to get underneath the wide receivers.